25 years old, so I've never known us be in the top flight before, and I'm kind of conflicted about it. I think there's something about being in the Premier League where you're so in the public eye that when you do get pumped, which invariably we will be, that makes it even all the more humiliating. So on the one hand, I'm a little bit worried about it, but on the other hand, you know, fuck it. It's going to be fun playing these top teams, going to some of these new grounds, and ultimately, you know, trying to stay in it. So I'm excited about it now. It's here. I'm really happy with the signings that we've made over the summer. But just to give you context, we've gone from being the 4th lowest budget in the Championship to getting promoted and then going into the Premier League. So our squad and our team wasn't really geared up for the Championship, let alone the Premier League. So we've had to make up quite considerable amount of ground when compared to the likes of Newcastle and Brighton. So the changes that we've made, they're good changes. We've brought in people that really suit the system, and more importantly, we brought them in really early, and that's given Wagner the time to work with them, to get them fit, to get them to understand his system. So hopefully, you know, we hit the ground running. But the likes of Steve Monet, I think from Montpellier, could be a good signing. He's a nice physical threat up top. Tommins, like I said, who's going to play wide right midfield and who always scores goals from that position in the Championship anyway. Aaron Moy, who's a personal hero, best player I've ever seen play for Huddersfield Town, who we signed from City. He's a bold midfielder who's Australian, he's good. And then we've got a centre-half called Zanko, who sounds interesting too, seems a bit of a character. We've got a new keeper, we've got other players as well, so we brought in about 8 players altogether. I still think we need more, but really happy that all these signings look like they'll help us make the team that we want to make. But David Wagner is the best manager that most people have never heard of. He's a descendant of Klopp and that whole Dortmund philosophy. He presses high, he likes to keep the football and counter quickly as well. And he's a manager that seems to have his own ideas and seems to approach things in a bit of a different way. So, for example, when we're playing an evening kickoff, he'll make sure that the team train at that same time of day, so that they're kind of optimising their bodies in a position which is used to being in that rhythm and therefore being at its optimum levels when kickoff starts. He's also got people to play for him. To get a team, like I said, with the 4th lowest budget, to get a bunch of players to play beyond their limits and come together and create an amazing team spirit. So I actually think that Palace may have missed out. That said, you've got De Boer and you know, some great new signings, so I'm sure you're pretty happy as well. Yeah, we love big scans at Town. He's someone that's respected because he works hard, he definitely tries hard, and he's got a bit of talent. He's never really been able to stay entirely injury-free to have a sustained period, and looking back, that seems to be something that's plagued him in his career. Not necessarily injuries, but being able to maintain a consistent top-level form. I thought he might be one to move on actually in this off-season, but he actually seems to have quit. He seems to have played pretty well in a lot of the pre-season games. He's even scored a goal and made a couple of assists. So who knows? Big Scans might be ready for the Premier League. I think Monet, as mentioned, but the other one that I haven't mentioned yet is Casey Palmer, who's on loan from Chelsea. We had him on loan last season. He got injured halfway through the season, but he loves the nutmeg. He's a great player from deep. He reminds me a little bit of Raheem Sterling, but not quite as small, not quite as rapid, and he plays centrally rather than out wide. But he's got that ability to kind of just have that little trick deep, just breeze past people and go to the next level of defence and make people commit. He scores a goal, arrives late in the box, and he's definitely got a pass on him, so he could be one for your fantasy team actually. It's tough. I think for a team like Huddersfield, if we're going to get any points away from home, we've got to be looking at the likes of Palace as a place where we can go and pick up a result. That said, from what I know about Palace, and I do have a few Palace supporting mates, I know that you show up for the big games. I think the first game of the season is always an exciting game for everyone, especially for the home support, and the fact that you've got some new players in and you've got a new gaffer in, I think that it's going to be probably a little bit too much for us to go down to South London and perform. So I expect, my score prediction for this is probably that you're going to beat us maybe 2 or even 3-0. I think it could be one of them ones. That said, I'll be cheering if we do upset you. So see you down there, good luck. This is Matt Wells. See you later.